The main message of Richard Feynman for me is that you have to be an open pond. As soon as you do the same boring stuff every day, you will lose the ability to learn and to enjoy new things. Look at your friends, colleagues, parents and grandparents. You are the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. Choose them wisely. There are people like Feynman who remain curious and young at heart at any age. The book Surely You're Joking, Mr. Feynman is well written and easy to read. It is a conversation between Feynman and one of his friends. They not only give a deep picture about the upbringing and the personality of Mr. Feynman, but also give an authentic description of scientific creativity and the process of discovery. In this video I will present you the 4 main ideas of the book and the criticism of it. Idea number 1. Passion for learning new things. You should have your passions, but you should also have your hobbies. Feynman was of course passionate about physics, but he was curious about everything he saw. He joined a Brazilian Bongo group and took part on the annual competition at the street parade in Rio de Janeiro. He cracked safes in Los Angeles for fun during the Manhattan Project. He spent one of his summer holidays working under James Watson, the discoverer of the DNA. He started drawing without any knowledge or experience and became a hot commodity on the art market. This is also the basic principle of the school founded by Elon Musk, founder of PayPal and Tesla Motors. So if you are focusing strictly on only one area in your life, you need a new hobby. Just look around and ask yourself how this or that works, and go and find out. Feynman was simply looking at a man playing around with a plate in a restaurant, and later this experience helped him to understand how electrons work. This video is a part of a series about the best books about raising a genius child. If you want to see more animated book reviews, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and if you want to know how to bring up a genius, register at get.bringupgenius.com. Idea number 2. Failures of education. Feynman spent years in Brazil and had a chance to observe the Brazilian educational system. He concluded that many students were simply memorizing the curriculum, but had no understanding of the concept they applied to. Feynman's approach was rooted in his upbringing, what I already presented in my earlier video, making the topic exciting. I'm also very thankful to my parents that they brought up me that I should challenge even the teachers in schools. And I recommend you the same if your child's teacher only inspire him to pass the tests instead of teaching how to make sense of the world around them. In many cases, the reason for this is that the teacher is simply a bad pedagogue or he doesn't understand the subject himself. And it is not unique for Brazilian. Feynman found the same chaos in California school system when he was asked to choose the textbooks from which students will learn. Most of the books were abounded with factual errors, and some of the participants who were responsible for evaluating the books not even read these, but valued the books randomly. And at the end, the choice was made by low financial budget instead of the quality of the book. This will lead us to idea number 3, always question anything. When you were a kid, you also had a lot of faith in all sorts of things. Maybe you also thought that if an expert said something, it must be true. If it was in television or in newspapers, it must be true. But after meeting people in the real world, that illusion imploded. As the above mentioned example about the school system demonstrates, in many cases the world is run by people underqualified and overconfident. And how is it connected to the upbringing of your child? Feynman's father was a uniform maker, so he often dealt with clients of all types of notoriety, and he knew that underneath all those uniforms were just another naked ape. So thanks to his pedagogical principle, Richard had no time for formalisms, rituals and societal views. He never took any data for granted and always questioned the sources, even if these were published in prestigious scientific journals. So for example, if you believe that all geniuses have high IQ and you don't have a chance to bring up a genius child, I would like to ask you to question this belief, as I did in my earlier video, The Myth of IQ. Idea number 4, simplify. What made Feynman genius? For me, one of the major reasons is that he was capable of explaining the most complex of matters to a 5 years old. I feel how hard it is. I now have a 3 years old son and he already can ask wonderful questions. And in some cases I also don't know the right answer to these basic questions, but I try to explain it to him that he is able to understand it. This is the same principle I described in my book review about Carl Witte. I could find only one criticism about the book. Some women were complaining that Feynman is annoying and they had a feeling that he disrespected women. Some people tried to explain it with the loss of his wife after long years of medical attendance. I found nothing overly offensive in his personality, but I must admit I'm very biased against him. But even if you are sensible in this respect, it should not hold you back from reading this book, because you can profit from it if you want to bring up a genius child. I would like to encourage you to comment what you think about Feynman, what new hobby you will choose, or if you believe now that you are able to bring up a genius inspired by this example.